Hey everybody, how we doing this fine Monday evening? I hope everybody's doing great out there. Of course, as usual, I'm joined by American Pride Ohio. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, brother. Appreciate you asking. How about yourself?
Oh, buddy, you know me, I'm good for nothing. Guaranteed good for it though. I've got in the chat. It looks like we've got hey, there's conspiracy music, Zeus Cyclone, Queen Bee, Florida Jeep Girl, Della Perry, Dark Watch. I see Paul Dalton, Baby Doll Ironton, Ben on third, Kimmy Dawn, and Smitty out there at the moment. Hopefully everybody's having a great night. I decided to get on here. We finally have all the information to go from the beginning all the way to the end. And tonight we're going to go through all of it. I have a copy of the body cam footage thanks to Jeebus Crisp. He allowed me to use his video, his copy of the body cam footage. I have the court transcripts, and I have the final written disposition by the judge to put the finality on this case. So I figure that I didn't exactly agree with the way it turned out. So I wanted to present it to everyone else and see what you guys thought. So I would assume that the best thing to do is to go ahead and start with the body cam video, seeing as that is how this whole entire thing started. So we'll get an idea of what the Ohio State Highway Patrol that actually made the stop and the arrest. We'll get a view of his perspective from the body cam footage. Then we'll read through his arrest report and what he wrote. Then we'll take a look at the court transcript to see what happened inside the courtroom while they were in court. And then, of course, you know, the final disposition. So we'll start with that body cam footage. Have you seen this video yet, Eugene?
No, sir, I have not. I've heard a lot about it, but I have not seen it.
Well, here we go. So hold on to your hat.
How we doing, bud? Not too bad.
This, of course, is the mayor's vehicle. You'll see him as the driver here in just a second. This cuts in right as the Highway Patrol was walking up to his vehicle. He had just initiated a stop.
Can you have a seat for me, please? Yes, sir. Oh, shit. How you doing? Pulling me over? Yeah, pulled right behind me. Okay. Can I see your driver?
Again, this is the video from Jeebus Crisp. I did not alter the video. He did. But I do like how he put that in there, and I agree. You notice how the mayor turned right around and said, "You pulling me over?" Like he was so surprised that that might actually happen.
Driver's license? Yes, sir. Insurance registration, please? Yeah, give me a second. There's that. 13646. Need a 2300 block of South 3rd. Stand by. I can't. I got a bunch of shit all over my car. Is this your vehicle, sir? Yes. All right, where are you guys trying to get to? We're just going in here. I was bringing them here.
And just for reference, when he says I was bringing them here, we're going here, he's pointing to the Auger Inn, which is a bar on 3rd Street in Ironton.
Gotcha. All right. Well, the reason I got you stopped for a few reasons. One, when you was coming down the road there, you didn't even stop at the stop sign at that 4-way. Which one? That's South 4th. Where? That's Pleasant? Yeah. I stopped.
Now, I want you to particularly notice how he said that. I stopped. Didn't even finish the word stop. Now, I don't know about you. I would say someone under the influence might talk that way. What do you think, Eugene? Does he sound like maybe he's been drinking some?
Yes, sir, he sure does.
I was coming down South 4th this way and saw you come right through the intersection. And then you come up here and your left tail light's busted. You got one light coming the rear. I knocked that out. And then when you turn right here on the South 30, you need your signal. Yeah. No, I knocked that out recently when we went through the beach. All right, well, back here at me for a minute.
So basically, he's got him for speeding, running a stop sign, and not using a signal so far.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
Me? Yeah. I had a couple earlier.
Okay.
But, like, I was just driving then.
Let's walk back here, please.
All right. So,
hang on.
What were you, I mean, this is off the record. I'm the mayor here in Ironton. Okay. I was just wondering what you guys were doing in town.
Just enforcing traffic laws.
How you like that question? This is off the record. I'm the mayor here, like that fucking matters. Apparently he thinks it does. And his question, what are you doing here? What are you guys doing in town? As if they have to clear it with him or something. I just thought that was kind of funny. Seems kind of arrogant to me. I don't know what you guys think, but it seems pretty fucking arrogant to me.
Okay.
All right, I'll tell you, look at your eyes and put make sure the drives. Is it okay with you?
Yes.
Right.
I'm not, well, I'm not.
Yeah, if you want to go, you're good to go. Close that door for me so the car don't hit it. Stand right there for me. Okay.
And notice, rather than being a quote-unquote tyrant, the passenger in the vehicle is free to go since he's not part of the traffic stop.
Better yet, stand in here from my car. That way we're on feet to the ground.
Can you guys hear the audio out there okay? Do I need to turn it up? I should probably ask that earlier. I want to make sure everybody can hear it. Can you hear it okay, Eugene? Is it loud enough, do you think?
Turn it up just a tad bit.
Oh, I can do that. Here we go.
All right, you wear contacts?
What?
You wear contacts or eyeglasses?
No, but I have sensitive eyes.
Okay. Are you prescribed any medications?
Is that any better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now notice how the whole time he's slurring something terrible. And apparently he's on medication for ADHD, he admitted just now, which is probably bad to mix with alcohol.
Okay. At what time? 9 or 10. Okay. All right. Do you use any little drugs? All right. Have you ever recent head injury? Not that. Have you ever been diagnosed with an eye disease? Have you had eye surgery in the last year? Stand with your feet together, arms on by your side.
You can get me all like nervous right now.
Stand with your feet together, arms on by your side. All right. See if my hand right, how my fingers out.
I think it's interesting that he said he's really nervous right now. I don't know if you guys truly understand, but the mayor is kind of like the highest ranking city police officer in town without having a badge. You know what I mean? He's directly over and the chief and directly influences the police department at all times. So I just wanted to make that clear.
I can't see it. You see it now? I have. I don't leaving the head still, hold it up in. You understand?
And of course, the audio's not the best on here. Straight from the body cam. I don't know exactly which officer that was. He put Blankenship on the screen when he made this. Like I said, this isn't my copy of the video. This is the one that Jeebus Crisp had. He's the one that touched it up, added the stuff to the screen. I didn't do that. I just borrowed his video because it serves its purpose regardless of what he put on there. But I did want to point out that if you guys remember, I was in Ironton one night and the highway patrol had made a stop, and there were 2 Ironton police officers that stopped there as backup, of course. Anytime one officer pulls someone over, anytime others are around, they generally stop for backup until another one arrives. The interesting thing is one just went by there in the background. One Ironton City police officer, I don't know which one it was, but they went by. They didn't bother stopping. I wonder if it's because of who they had pulled over.
Yeah. They're like,
You guys hear everybody from the bar back there screaming, "Let him go! Let him go!"
that's sad. Sorry? No, other than like just being distracted. Okay. Stand right here, please. About my point. Stand up there. Have a seat up. Stand right there. I got to back my car up. All right. Can I get in or whatever? Like, hang on. I'm okay. Break's okay. John Henry Frank, 8886. John Henry Frank, 8886. All right, stand right here for me, please. Stay short vehicle. If you want, I can actually, like, you have any weapons on you? Yeah. All right, so pay down for weapons, that's all. All right, sir. I'm sorry, I think that's naked. You're good. Like, when you move around the ball, like, I don't know. I understand. I got arrested. Hey, show me your hands. Show me your hands. Listen, you have no business being over here walking at me like that.
Right.
What?
That's the mayor of our city.
Okay. Can I help you? No.
Absolutely.
Listen.
Take you to our city.
Listen. Stop.
You've had way too much to drink. You shouldn't be out here on the road.
Yeah, I think
You shouldn't be out here on the
you're
road.
making this worse. Don't do that.
Stop, Sam.
Listen, I'm gonna have you back across the road, and you're gonna stay over there.
What do you think about this shining example of an Ironton citizen walking over from the bar, obviously way past too many, coming over to offer herself to go to jail instead of the mayor? What do you think about that, Eugene?
In all honesty, man, I wish I had people like that to back me up when I went to jail.
I think it's rather goddamn embarrassing, to be honest. I think it's
It is.
embarrassing as shit. I hope that she gets to see this video, and maybe she won't drink as much and be as Cecilia in life from here on out. I hope she sees this and she feels a little embarrassed about it, because that's just silly, dumb stuff.
It's the mayor of our city.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my job.
Take me to jail instead of him. Right now.
It don't work like that. No one takes place to nobody.
Please.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna walk back across the road, and you're gonna stay over there. Let's go.
Please take me to jail instead of him.
Please stop.
Sam, stop.
No, nobody's in.
You'd almost guarantee that everybody over there at the bar already feels like he's going to jail, don't they? You notice that? This lady obviously believes he's going. We haven't even gotten to that part of the stop yet. She's so convinced, though, she's going to offer herself.
Take me to jail instead of him.
Like nobody's in trouble or anything.
He's a good mayor. Please take me to jail.
It has nothing to do with that.
I promise you, take me to jail instead of him.
You notice she said he's a good man. Remember that for later.
You stop.
I have a
fucking embarrassment if you ask me.
He has a brake light out, I know.
Yeah, it's a
Take me to jail instead of him.
No. What we're going to do is we're going to walk back across the road. We're going to stay over there. All right. There's no cars coming. Stand over here. Don't go nowhere.
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, please
Can I sit?
Walk. Yeah.
Okay.
take me to jail
Walk
instead of
over
him.
here. Walk over here. Let's go. Stay over there.
All right.
If you come back out here, you're under arrest. Stand up for me.
Now pay particular attention to the name that he says when he says he has to get off the phone. Everybody listen closely.
Hey.
All right, just got to pay down for weapons. Stand right here. All right, we'll talk here in a second. I need you to put the phone down. I want
All
to
right.
pay down for
Hey,
weapons.
I'm not.
You want to move over here? We're going to move over here.
The state trooper has me. Wait.
I'll pay you down for weapons.
Yeah.
We'll move over here if you want.
What is it?
I'm going to pay you down for weapons. If you want to move over here, we'll move over here.
Okay. Hang on.
I'm going to need you to hang the phone up.
All right. I have to hang up, man.
Did you hear what he said, Eugene? I have to hang up, Pam.
Yes.
You know who Pam was at the time, right?
Yes, sir.
She was the Ironton Police Department chief. He's talking, of course, to Pam Wagner, the chief of the Ironton Police. I think it's really interesting that he called her like she might have some pull over the state or something. He really overestimates his position in this town, evidently.
All right. Spread your feet. All right, we're back here. We're going to sit in the car.
What is it?
We're going to have a seat in the car and we're going to go around the block. We're up here in the parking lot somewhere. Nope.
Oh, I have to get in the back?
Yeah.
Can we just walk over there?
I can't. I got to have my car.
That's going to look awful. Like,
Do you want to go up there or you want to stay here? I didn't say he was under arrest.
You hear him slow. That's going to look awful.
Unless you want to go up there.
Yeah, sure.
$19.73.
1970.
Burlington, County 1. Stand by for the RP.
And of course, he's already kind of had to move the scene of the stop just to get out in front of all the idiot drunks at the bar.
It's going to be an antique vehicle, RP 4138 X-ray.
All right, step out here.
Let's go ahead and do a preliminary, guys. People out there in the chat, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you think the mayor is under the influence of alcohol or something else, and I want you to put a 2 if you think he's stone cold sober. Eugene, what's your opinion?
He's drunk as hell, bro.
Okay. I just wanted to ask because it's going to become very, very important here after we watch this video about whether or not he is or is not under the influence is going to become very important. So I just want everybody to make their own decision, and we'll continue watching this.
Stand in front of my car, please. See this blue line right here? We'll use this in front of the parking lot. All right, go and put your left foot on that blue line. Left foot? Yes, sir. And then put your right foot in front of your left, touching heel to toe. Arms down by your side.
What is it?
Arms down by your side.
Okay.
Just stay in that position until I instruct you to begin. Do you understand?
Yes.
When I instruct you to begin, all I want you to do is take 9 heel-to-toe steps.
9.
1, 2, 3, and so on all the way till 9. Once you reach your 9th step, leave your front foot on the line, take a serious small step and turn yourself around. Just take 9 heel-to-toe steps back.
Back.
1,
All right.
2,
So it matters the
3.
way I turn around.
Hang on. I'm going to give you
I'm
all.
just nervous.
All right, all the way till 9. Throughout the test, with each step you take, make sure you touch heel to toe, look down your feet, and count the number of steps out loud. Keep your arms down by your side throughout the test, and once you start the test, do not stop until you're finished. All right, do you have any questions?
All right. So at the turn, I have to turn left.
What you're going to do is you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps. Once you reach your 9th step, leave your
How many
front foot
times
on
you
the
got to
line,
explain this
take a
yet?
series of small steps and turn yourself around.
What'd you say?
I said, how many times is this, state boy got to explain this shit to that dumbass?
Well, apparently at least one more time. At least one more time.
And take 9 heel-to-toe steps back down the same line.
Just so far.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just it's like all that. I'm sorry.
You understand all the instructions?
Yeah.
You may begin.
All right.
All right, hang on. Before you begin,
I got nervous thinking about what she was doing and everything.
He got nervous thinking about what she's doing. He's so worried about the drunk lady that's not even part of the stop anymore that he can't even remember the instructions he's being told right now. But, I'll leave that up to you.
I'm really like just a lot of things I'm doing right now.
Almost like it's getting too real for him right now, huh? Done figured out Pam can't help him. The police done drove by and didn't stop to help him. Now he's stuck with the highway patrol. Go figure that.
Yeah, it was awfully weird.
You understand all the instructions?
Yeah.
Right, you have any questions?
I understand it. I'm just nervous. My heart's racing because what just happened with you and her and all that.
Lisa asks a question here. She says, does he realize this is part of the test? I don't think a lot of people understand how a sobriety test actually works. They think that maybe walking in a straight line and the fact you can hold your foot up and count to 10 and shit actually matters. They don't realize that everything you do, don't do, how many times they got to tell you, all the bullshit in between, all of that is part of the test. Absolutely.
One. Hang on, don't start yet.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So left.
Put your right foot back in front of your left, touching heel to toe.
All right. And then I go from there.
No,
You're not going to stop me at each
I'll tell you
one?
I'll tell you when to stop.
You're going to make me stand.
It's
One.
according to the NHTSA manual. All right, don't start walking yet. All right, do you have any questions?
Well, that's a damn surprise. He ain't shut up and quit asking questions about how to do it since he's been told the first time, has he?
Right.
Yeah, take a few small steps and then come back.
Take 9 heel to toe steps, turn, 9 heel to toe steps back down the same
count
line.
them out, isn't it?
Yes, sir. You have any other questions? You may begin.
One, right? This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. Yep. Just turn around, face straight ahead.
Okay.
You stand with your feet together, arms down by your side. Just stay in that position until I instruct you to begin. You understand?
Okay.
When not, do you understand?
You said stand in this position.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You understand?
To stand in this position?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. When I instruct you to begin, all I want you to do is raise 1 foot of your choice, or approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping your foot parallel with the ground. Look down your foot and count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop.
That's keep my hands to my side.
Yes, sir. All right, throughout the test, make sure you look down your foot and count
How
out
far
loud
do I have to go?
until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
All right, throughout the test, make sure you look down your foot, count out loud like I demonstrated. Keep your arms down by your side throughout the test. Also, make sure you keep your legs straight and rigid, not bent and flexed, meaning don't bend at the knee.
Nervous as hell.
Do you have any?
Notice he just said he was nervous as hell. I wonder why he would be nervous as hell, especially if he's not under the influence and he hasn't broken any traffic laws or committed any traffic infractions. I wonder what reason he would have to be nervous.
Questions? No. You understand all the instructions? You may begin. Questions?
Okay. No. So I just choose the foot.
Yes, sir. Either foot you want to do it with.
All right.
All right, yeah, hang on.
And I have to look down that leg, right?
All right. You stand with your feet together, arms down by your side. I want to give you another demonstration.
Recently when we went to the beach.
He says, do you have any questions? He says, uh-oh, what happened there? It went back, didn't it? Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get back to where we were at. I apologize. That was my fault. But he asked him if he had any questions. He said no, and then immediately starts asking questions. I just thought that was funny. See if I can get back to about where it was at here. Sorry about that. Getting a little click happy on the mouse back here.
All right, throughout the test, make sure you look down your foot and count out
How far
loud
do I have to go?
until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
All right, throughout the test, make sure you look down your foot, count out loud like I demonstrated. Keep your arms down by your side throughout the test. Also, make sure you keep your legs straight and rigid, not bent and flexed, meaning don't bend at the knee.
Nervous as hell.
Do you have any questions?
No.
You understand all the instructions? You may begin. Questions?
Okay. No. So I just choose the foot.
Yes, sir. Either foot you want to do it with.
All right.
All right, yeah, hang on.
And I have to look down that leg, right?
All right. You stand with your feet together, arms down by your side. I want to give you another demonstration. You stand in that position until I instruct you to begin. When I instruct you to begin, all I want you to do is raise 1 foot of your choice, or approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping your foot parallel with the ground. Look down your foot and count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop. Throughout the test, make sure you look down your foot and count out loud like I demonstrated. Keep your arms down by your side throughout the test. Also, make sure you keep your legs straight and rigid, not bent and flexed, meaning don't bend at the knee. Do you have any questions? Do you understand all the instructions?
I believe so.
If you have any questions, now's the time to ask.
I think I'm good.
All right. You may begin.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011.
Just put your foot on the chin where you left off.
Can I do a different foot?
If you want.
Okay.
I also like how he says, can I do a different foot, as if he's got several to choose from.
12.
All right, you gotta put your foot down. Stand right there. doing? How we doing? All right. All right. Okay, I'll see that one car. I'll see that one. You on the window, all right? You want to talk to her? You want to talk to her?
I apologize again.
Almost. All right, it's portable breath test, not admissible in court. All right, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. If you do want to do it, all I need you to do is take one big deep breath, create a seal through your lips around the straw. Just one continuous blow until I tell you to stop.
If I don't want to do it,
You don't have to. It's optional.
what does that mean? No.
That means that we won't do portable breath test.
Yeah, if you tell me I don't want to do it, what does that mean? It means you can say no, that you don't have to do it. Pretty plain and simple.
And then what?
I'll go from there, make a decision whether I believe you're impaired or not.
I don't know, I've just always heard things like if doing it or not doing it.
What's your choice?
I got a question for you, Eugene. If you are not under the influence and you are the mayor right now, wouldn't it be better to go ahead and blow and prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that you're not under the influence, or would it be better to refuse? You tell me.
If you're not under the influence, brother, you might as well go ahead and, obviously he's drunk as shit, you can tell. I mean, this state boy had to explain to him 9,000 fucking times on each thing and he's done so far. And
I
now
understand that. What I'm saying though is he's acting like, this whole thing about whether he should blow or should not blow. This is for his benefit, is the point I'm making. The reason that breathalyzer is being offered right now is because at this very moment, this State Highway Patrol is 100% convinced this sumbitch is drunk. He's 100% convinced that he is under the influence, and he's giving him one last opportunity to prove that he is not under the influence by blowing. That is why that is being offered right now.
You don't have to do it. It's up to you.
And just to reach out to Blanche there, I see she put, what the fuck? You don't have to do a breath test. Refusal should be go to jail. It usually is, Blanche. Like I said, he offered him the breath test in order for him to be able to prove his innocence if he indeed is innocent. And refusal of that leaves the Highway Patrol to make up his own mind about whether or not he assumes you are or are not under the influence, and he will take appropriate action based on that belief.
Oh man, like I've always heard about like what to do and what not to do. But I also know how much I weigh, how much I've had today.
Kind of sounds like Shakespeare, doesn't it? To blow or not to blow? 'Tis the question.
What I've eaten today.
And notice nowhere has he said, I've not been drinking. He said, I know my body weight. I know how much I've drank. I know how much I weigh. He's trying to do the math in his head, but apparently he's too drunk.
But it's at your discretion at that point. Alright.
It's up to you. You want to do it or not?
Am I allowed to make a phone call?
Not right now.
Why not?
Because I'm still investigating whether you're impaired or not.
I'm not under arrest.
Nope.
So I can make a phone call.
Not right now. Not in the middle of my traffic stop. You want to blow on this?
It's only just because, like,
Hey, do you suppose he was going to call that lady at the bar and have her blow for him, the one that wanted to go to jail? I was just wondering who the fuck he was going to call, you know?
I've got a lot of things on it, man.
Well, I get it, but you want to do this?
I feel like if I say no, you're just... I was going to say, told do that. I just don't know.
Does anybody else get the impression he looks like an angry college frat boy standing there with his hands on his hips, his gut sticking out, drunk as shit, trying to decide whether or not a yes or no question? It should be an easy answer one way or the other, but he seems to be stalling.
Stand right here, face my car. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for operating a vehicle under the influence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say cannot be against you in court. You got in second pair. You have the right to have your lawyer present for answering questions. If you choose to answer any questions without your lawyer present, you also have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Understand all your rights?
All right, guys, so there you go. There's the body cam footage. The Ohio State Highway Patrol evidently believes that this man is under the influence. I can say after watching that video, I know for a fact that he was under the influence. I've known a lot of people to drink in my life. It's not very difficult to tell when they've had too much. I think we're pretty well assured. However, I asked earlier in the stream, I want to do it one more time. For you guys out there in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you think the mayor is under the influence of alcohol and or something else. And put a 2 if you think he is stone cold sober. Because obviously I want your opinion. That's going to matter here very, very shortly. So there's the body cam footage. And I'm going to add this is the arrest report by the Highway Patrol. And I know it's hard for you guys to see. I've tried to find a better way to share this, and I just can't seem to get it, but I do have it here, so bear with me. I will read it to you. Of course, this is, let me get my version up here so that I can see it on my desktop. This is the arrest report and summons written by the Highway Patrol. It says to defendant summons. You are summoned in order to appear. It has all the information, you know, about the personal information of the mayor and his vehicle on that sheet. There, of course, you know, is the actual cover sheet of the entire thing. And if I can find it, here we go. Now, this is what the Highway Patrol actually wrote to the judge. So this is the important part and the part that I wanted to read through. So I will read. Hopefully you guys can see it on your screen. If you can't, if you're on a phone, I'm sorry. It's the best I can do for now. But I'm going to read it to you here. It says, Your Honor, on August 20th, 2022, at approximately 0102 hours, that's 1:02 a.m., I was on patrol traveling westbound on 4th Street when I observed a vehicle traveling southbound on Pleasant Street above the posted speed limit through the intersection of Pleasant Street and 4th Street. The intersection is a four-way intersection, and I observed the vehicle traveling at a speed that would be impossible to obtain if the vehicle would have completely stopped at the stop sign, indicating the vehicle had failed to stop at the intersection. I sped up and observed the vehicle pull out of the lane of travel and into the parking portion of the roadway. However, the vehicle did not park. The vehicle then swerved left and proceeded to make a right-hand turn onto 3rd without using its turn signal. So right here, he's got him not signaling, running a stop sign, speeding, and swerving. Just want to make that evident. He goes on to say, I also observed the vehicle's left tail light was damaged and was emitting a white light to the rear. The vehicle then pulled out of the lane of traffic, or out of the lane of travel, I apologize, parked, and I initiated a traffic stop by activating my overhead lights. At this time, all occupants had exited the vehicle but were still at the vehicle, and I observed the driver exit from the driver's seat and was able to identify the driver. The front seat passenger walked away from the traffic stop, and I asked the rear passenger to remain in the vehicle, and he complied. I made contact with the driver, and he stated, "You pulling me over?" then sat back down in the driver's seat. I asked the driver for his driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration. He sorted through some items he was holding and provided me with his driver's license, and he was identified as Samuel Cramlett II. He attempted to retrieve the other requested items but was unable to produce them. and as he was attempting to locate the items, I noticed his movements were slow and lethargic, and he was having difficulty sorting through the paperwork in the glove box as well as the center console. I asked him where he was going, and he pointed to the Auger Inn, which again is that bar right there across the street, and stated, "We are just going here. I was bringing them here," referring to the passengers in the vehicle. I explained the reasons for the traffic stop and noticed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from that vehicle. While speaking with Mr. Cramblett II, I noticed his speech was thick and slurred and his eyes were bloodshot and glassy. I asked him how much he had had to drink. He stated, "I had a couple earlier. I was just driving them." I asked Mr. Cramblett to exit the vehicle and stand in front of my patrol car. While at my patrol car, Mr. Cramblett stated, "This is off the record. I'm the mayor here in Ironton. I'm just wondering what you guys are doing in town." While he was speaking, I noticed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from his breath. He consented to standard field sobriety tests. At this time, the rear seat passenger asked if he could leave the traffic stop, and I stated he could. I administered the horizontal gaze nystagmus test and observed a nystagmus in each of the following clues: lack of smooth pursuit, distinct and sustained nystagmus at the maximum deviation, and had a 35-degree angle of onset. I began to give the instructions for the walk and turn test, and Mr. Cramblett requested that we move the area and conduct the field sobriety tests at another location due to a large crowd that had gathered at the Auger Inn. The crowd, let me flip this for you. I know you guys, it gets to the end there, so I have to flip the page for y'all and then go back to mine. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. Fun. As I learn how to tech here. Said the crowd was yelling and screaming, and a patron had walked into the traffic stop and stated she wanted to be arrested and taken to jail rather than Mr. Cramblett. I assisted the patron back across the roadway, and the traffic stop was moved to an empty nearby parking lot, and the standard field sobriety tests were resumed. He performed the walk and turn tests, and I observed 7 standardized clues of impairment. I'm going to read that again. He said, I observed 7 clues of impairment. He moved his feet while listening to the instructions and started the test 2 times prior to being instructed to do so, raised his arms greater than 6 inches for balance, failed to touch heel to toe 3 times, stepped off the line 1 time, and he made an incorrect turn. As he was performing the test, I noticed that he stopped walking after each step to maintain his balance. He performed the 1-leg stand test, and I observed 3 standardized clues of impairment. He swayed side to side both ways, raised his arms greater than 6 inches for balance, and he put his foot down on count 11. Prior to starting the test, I asked if he had any questions and if he understood the instructions, and he stated he did. I instructed him to begin, and he stated which foot. A second demonstration was given as well with the instructions prior to starting the test. As he performed the test, I noticed he counted slowly to 1012 in approximately 30 seconds. At this time, Sergeant McFan arrived on scene. Mr. Cramblett was offered a portable breath test, and he hesitated and began speaking out loud that he knew how he weighed, how much alcohol he had consumed, and what he had eaten throughout the day. After a short while, he refused the portable breath test, indicating to me that he believed he would show a blood alcohol of the per se level. I placed Mr. Cramblett under arrest for operating a vehicle under the influence. I handcuffed him, advised him of his Miranda rights, searched him, and secured him in the back of my patrol car. He was read and shown the BMV 2255 on scene. He was offered a breath test using the Intoxilizer 8000, and he refused. He was advised of his ALS suspension and mandatory court appearance in the Ironton Municipal Court. He was advised and served with a copy of his charges, then released from the scene with a valid and sober driver. Respectfully, Trooper Martin, U1364. I assume that is probably his badge number. So we have an Ohio State Highway Patrol who sees a car basically run a stop sign, doesn't use any turn signals, swerving, obviously can't drive right. He pulls him over, ends up arresting him for DUI. Is there any doubt out there at all, to anyone out there, is there any doubt that this man was under the influence of alcohol or something. My guess is alcohol. He sounds like he's drunk. He looks like he's drunk. The trooper says he was and could smell alcohol. I'm just wondering if there's anybody out there who has any doubt at all as to whether or not this man may or may not have been drunk. In my opinion, he absolutely, and I think in yours too, I think anybody that has half a brain will see that this man was definitely under the influence of something. What do you think, Eugene?
Yes, sir. He was very drunk. If 2 beers gets him like that, hell, holy shit.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I want to show you guys the, let me get it up here on the screen. I have the court transcripts. As you see, this is from the Ironton Municipal Court. The Honorable Jerome Cantizaro is the judge. I will say the supposedly Honorable Jerome Cantizaro, because I will never attest to another man's honor, and just because they think that's their title doesn't mean shit to me. I usually don't see one man any more honorable than the other. I hate that term, but that's what's printed on the paper. Under appearances, we have Jeremy. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. I'm gonna go with Dodgian. It's Dodgion. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that because I've never seen that name before. That was the attorney for the mayor, and the special prosecuting attorney is John Hass. So we brought in a judge, Jerome Cantizaro, and a prosecuting attorney, John Hass, both from Scioto County, right? Because, you know, I mean, they had to bring in somebody else because they didn't want you thinking that they were doing the mayor any favors, right? You know, we don't want y'all believing that that we're doing them any favors. So we brought special people in to take care of this, right? So these special people, then we get into court. Let me get the rest of this up here so you can see the transcripts as I see them here. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, I'm not as techie as some of the others are on this stuff. Takes me an extra second to get it going here. I might be able to make this bigger for you to read because it's on a different screen here. All right, so the bailiff, John Kincaid, says, "All rise. Ironton Municipal Court now in session. Honorable Judge Cantizaro presiding." There are voices in the background that can't be made out what is said, according to the person who typed this up. The judge says, "All right, I did not bring the file with me." Well, how damn convenient. You know, I mean, damn. He's a judge. Is he expected to have the file in front of him? I don't know. It seems very improper and not very damn professional to me. But either way, he doesn't have the shit that he needs. Lucky for him, though, the bailiff does. He says, "I have it right here for you, Your Honor, Samuel T. Cramblett II." The judge says, "That's you. Let's first identify ourselves for the record." The defendant states his name, Sam Cramblett. The attorney for the defendant, Jeremy Dodgen, 0068113, on behalf of Sam Cramblett. The special prosecutor pipes up, attorney John Hass, special prosecutor. And then the judge says, "How do you pronounce that last name again?" The defendant, Cramblett, repeats his last name for Judge Cantizaro. Judge Cantizaro says, "Right now I have one case number 22 TRC 1262 A and B. We're here today on a motion to suppress, and you can proceed on the motion to suppress." His attorney, Attorney Dodgian, pipes up and says, "No, Your Honor, I'll withdraw. We'll withdraw the motion at this time." The judge says, "Okay, are you changing your plea to not guilty on both charges?" The attorney for the mayor says, "We would change our plea to guilty to, I believe it is count 2 or count B of the complaint." The prosecutor says, "And in exchange for that plea on that, Your Honor, the state would move to dismiss the A charge." I think it's very interesting that they keep using A and B rather than under the influence or being fucking drunk behind the wheel of a car. I think it's very interesting that they're doing that. I don't know if they do it in all cases because I haven't sat through too many drunk driving cases, but I think it's very interesting that they won't even say the words. They keep using A and B and shit. So the judge says, "Okay, the court will accept the dismissal subject to the plea. Guilty to the charge of signal violation is what?" The attorney says, "Guilty." The judge says, guilty. Is there anything you would like to say on behalf of your client? And again, I have to switch the page here, so give me just a second. Get that up here for you guys. And again, I'm sorry for my amateur hour here. There we go, I think. Make sure I'm on the right one here. And the attorney for the mayor says, Your Honor, we are happy to get this resolved in this fashion. I think it is the appropriate remedy or conclusion of this case, given the evidence that was provided to everybody through the cruiser video and body cameras. I think that it depicted Mr. Cramblett being responsible out on the roads and not being impaired. I think that it was the consensus by both sides, and I think that it is the appropriate resolution to him taking responsibility for the fact not using turn signal. The judge says, sure, anything you would like to say. Defendant Cramblett apparently said something, but they couldn't make out what he said at the time they made this transcript, or at least that's what they typed in there. The judge says something, and apparently that can't be made out either. And then he says, your recommendation. And the special prosecutor, John Hass, pipes up and says, just a minor misdemeanor, a small fine. The judge says, how small? And the prosecutor says, $25 in the costs. Then the attorney for the defendant says, we'd be happy to pay whatever the fine is today, Your Honor. And the judge says, $25 in costs. And now we will dismiss the A charge. His attorney pipes back up and says, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've got an ALS disposition form if I may approach. The judge says yes. The attorney thanks him. The judge can't make out what he says at this point either, says thank you. The bailiff says, okay, we stand adjourned. The attorney says, thank you, Your Honor. And of course, the bailiff says, all rise, court now adjourned. All that horse shit. So basically what you have here, I see this one of two ways. One, we can either clearly see that through the footage that we just watched, which apparently is what the prosecutor and the defense attorney and the judge sat and watched, right? Because this is how they made the determination that this sumbitch was a responsible driver, right? Responsible driver, being responsible on the roadways is what it said. So either we can see that clearly from what we just witnessed, right? Or the other way that this could be is that highway patrol, I demand his immediate termination and or resignation because apparently he's not able to do his job, and every DUI he's ever been on needs to be re-looked at because apparently he doesn't know when someone's drunk. So which is it? That's why I asked if you thought he was under the influence, because I think it's plain as the nose on everybody's face out there that the man should not have been driving. He should have been arrested, which he was. The highway patrol did his job. Kudos to you, Trooper Martin. Kudos to you, sir. You get an A+. And fuck you, prosecutor. And fuck you, special judge Cantanzaro, John Hass, you sons of bitches. Oh, you sons of bitches. How in the hell is that anywhere near fucking legal what went on in that courtroom? It's not. It's not, and it can't be. Now, the question that I have, Ironton and citizens of Ironton, what the fuck are we going to do about it? Because I say we got to do something about it, because this is bullshit. That's absolute bullshit, and everybody knows it. Prove me wrong. That is absolute horseshit. I've got one other paper to show you here, and it's just the final disposition as entered by the judge. Get it bigger here so y'all can see it. It's handwritten, kind of. Almost looks like a damn doctor or pharmacist on it. Says the state moves to dismiss count A in exchange for defendant's plea to count B, turn signal violation, and it gives the ORC code. The court orders the defendant to pay a fine of $25 plus the cost. Who else out there thinks that he probably didn't even fucking pay that? They probably just wrote him a paid in full receipt.
Oh yeah,
I bet he didn't even fucking have to pay that. You know what I mean?
Didn't.
So anyway, that's there you go, guys. That's what happened right there. That's exactly what happened. So we have an Ohio Highway Patrol out there that gets fucked in the court system. Wonder how often this does happen, because apparently it's a big club. Just people like us ain't in it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
People like us ain't in it. And he didn't bother fixing that fucking turn signal thing for another 2 weeks, did he, Eugene? Because we kept driving by it just to find out. And he didn't replace that until I started kicking up a big fucking bitch fit about it and calling him a puss boy and shit, and showing that like he obviously didn't fucking care what anybody in Ironton thought, because he wasn't going to fix it. Didn't feel that he had to. Thinks that he's privileged above everybody else. Apparently he doesn't realize that he works for us. He's not fucking in charge of us. However, he's never going to know that if you all here in the town won't stand up with me to show him that. He doesn't give a damn what I say. When I met the man, he acted like a total dick. Wouldn't even speak to me. I walked up. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it one more time while I got you on here. They were promoting John Hammonds to sergeant, and that video is on my other channel. And I had walked up to the mayor after it was over, and I put out my hand, and as I put out my hand, he put his out, and just as our hands touched, our palms touched to shake, I was speaking, and I said, "Hello, Mayor, I am Terry, the Ironton auditor. I hadn't had a chance to meet you yet," and before I could get all those words out of my mouth, he had already recoiled, pulled his hand plumb out of mine, turned around, and walked the fuck away, and that was it. Didn't say hi, howdy, kiss my ass, fuck you, nothing. That was my one and only face-to-face meeting with the man that they call mayor. What a man for the people, huh? So anyway, that's what kind of sumbitch y'all got trying to lead your city. That's what kind of leadership you have in there. Imagine what all the people under him must be like. Imagine how hard it is to be an honorable person serving under a shit like that. Imagine what kind of leadership that man. When the leadership in a town looks like that, well, shit, I don't need to tell you. You tell me. What do you think of that, Eugene? What does that mean about everybody that works under a sumbitch like that?
Well, for one, he's an embarrassing son of a... fucking... Man, that pisses me off, dude. You know what I mean? Fucking... First, they go to bumfuck Sauter County, Ohio. To, you know, fucking... They're fucking... I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, they're fucking trash down there anyway.
Well, apparently so. Apparently so. They come up here and did this shit.
And oh hell, brother, they do that in Sauter County, Ohio, all the time. That's why I was investigating the shit out of them a long time ago. But I mean, it's fucking Sam Cramble. You're a fucking man. You're a dumbass. You're an embarrassment to this fucking city.
You know what really sucks about this is the mainstream media covered this right after it happened, right? But right. They didn't come back to follow up on it at all. They left it off with saying that he had no comment, and his attorney had said that that none of this had any effect or on his abilities to be mayor. Well, I disagree. I disagree vehemently. If you're so damn drunk you can't even talk, it damn sure affects your job. I've also heard many rumors that he goes out and drinks during normal hours that he should be in the mayor's office. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But at this point, and seeing this level of corruption, this level of bullshit that we're seeing, I don't put anything past this sumbitch. I really don't. I don't put anything past him. And I think everybody in there in town, within the sound of my voice, I think that you need to be paying attention to your mayor. I think that somebody needs to watch when that motherfucker goes to the work of a morning, and I think somebody needs to sit there and see if he leaves every day and where he goes and what he is doing while he's on the clock. I hear he goes around to other towns and visits other mayors. Well, why? He ain't doing anything in this town. What's he do? Using that just to go around and have a good fucking time with a bunch of other mayor buddies? Is that what's going on? Because that's what it fucking sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. Prove me wrong. Good luck. Anyway, guys, there is Mayor Sam Cramblett of Ironton. So before Chili tries to get in on it and act like he has anything to do with this fucking town, which he doesn't, just wanted you to know that Ironton Auditor knows a lot more than he's spoken of, and it's all coming. It's going to be brought out on this channel. There are a few other things we're going to talk about as we go. A few other things I got to point out. A few other balls I got to bust. But I've been at this almost a year now. The only problem is it's taken me a while to get my ducks in a row and get the proof, because I won't be like everybody else. I won't tell you something happened. I will show you the facts that it happened or it didn't fucking happen, right? Because it's not about what I believe. It's about what I can prove. So as you see tonight, I brought all the proof from beginning to end. So now you know. Now you know the level of corruption, and that's just one part We're just getting started, getting ready to crack this pus bucket open. Something tells me it's going to stink pretty bad once we start digging in. That's just a guess. We haven't got all the way into it yet. We're still working on it, guys. But, you know, you bust a scab off that thing and this kind of pus runs out, it kind of makes you wonder what's in there. You know what I mean? What's got this festering up? So I guess we're going to have to figure all that out as we go, right? You know, it's interesting because I think for any of the rest of us, they might have dropped the turn signal violation if we went ahead and pleaded guilty to the drunk driving. But I doubt very seriously they're going to drop a fucking drunk driving for anybody and plead guilty to a turn signal violation. Not to mention he was speeding, run a fucking stop sign, swerving all over the road and all that other shit that just wasn't even covered in court. They didn't even cover the charges exactly. They called them A and B. Do they normally do that shit? I've never sat through a drunk driving case, so I don't know, but that sounds interesting to me that they would use the terms A and B rather than the actual charges. Because in any other case I've sat in, they actually name out the charges.
Yeah, every case I've ever sat through, they bluntly named out the charges.
Right, at least at some point, and then later they may refer to them as count 1 or 2 or A or B. But usually they at least read them out at some point. They didn't bother to do that. Why? Because it wasn't formal anyway, apparently, and they didn't give a shit. Everybody in question knew for a fact that they were going to let him fucking walk on it. Why? Because apparently he's the mayor. Apparently he's the mayor, and that must apparently carry some weight with Scioto County judges and prosecutors, which don't make much sense to me.
They're backing each other's play, brother.
Yeah, well, we ain't.
No,
I
sir.
ain't backing shit. And I'm here to tell you the truth. So now you guys know what's going on in that town, or at least part of it. You know what's going on at the highest level as far as the mayor is concerned. And understand that the mayor is the top-ranking police officer in that city. He doesn't wear a badge, and he doesn't have police power, but he is absolutely in first control. He is directly over the chief and the highest-ranking member of the police department. He controls it all. So that, you know, like I said, when you have leadership like that, imagine what happens at the bottom when your leader is like that. So guys, what do you think out there? Do you put a 1 in the chat if you think we got some justice in this town? Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's all screwed and that it was absolute horse shit and that it needs to be investigated. And if no one else will do it, we'll have to do it ourselves.
It's absolutely horseshit, brother. Backing each other's motherfucking play, and they got the scumbags out. The worst fucking, I mean, the #1 overdose city in the fucking, in Ohio, Scioto County, Portsmouth. They bring fucking just, oh my goodness. Fuck you, Sam Cramlett.
Right. And I can say that for a fact. You know, I've already been treated like shit by the sumbitch. And then, see, I didn't know this at the time I met him. Maybe that's what he was afraid of. I don't know. I didn't know this at that time. I found this out later. You know, somebody mentioned it to me in passing one day. Like, do you hear the mayor got arrested for drunk driving? I was like, no, I hadn't heard about that yet. Tell me about it. You know, and then later, of course, Jeebus had gotten hold of the body cam footage and I watched it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. And I go in and get the disposition, you know, and it was handwritten by the judge. Took a little while to get the transcripts, you know, but we finally got them. Very interesting when I went in to get the transcripts. You know, the lady walked in and I said, is this where I would come to get the transcripts for a court case? And she said, absolutely. Who do you want them for? And I said, the mayor, when he was in here. And immediately she said, well, there's going to be a charge, sir. I said, that's fine. I'll pay it. She said, it's $3 a page, sir. I said, that's fine. I'll pay it. And then she says, well, it's $100 deposit. And it pissed me off. And I said, I'll be right back. And I went straight to the ATM and got $100 and took it back to her. Why? Because I was madder than fuck, you know, and it seems to me like they were doing everything they could to discourage me from getting these transcripts. And I don't much care for that. I don't understand how the fuck I'd need to put in $100 deposit to get 4 fucking pages is all it was. 4 pages. It was $12 fucking dollars. Now I did get my money back, but I shouldn't have to leave them with a fucking $100 for a damn month while I'm waiting on them to type up some paperwork. They should have been able to look into it and say, hey, it's this many pages, it'll be this much money. Get us that, we'll type it out, right? That's what should have happened. But that's not what happened. I'm not even sure if that's fucking legal or not. I still got to check into that. I think that sounds like horse shit right there. Anytime some woman in a damn county office can go, well, yeah, I can give you what you want, all the public information you need, but I'm going to charge a big fucking lot bigger deposit than you need to get it. Just trying to make sure you're not getting it's what it sounds like. But she was mistaken. She obviously didn't realize I'd come and done a fucking chili fundraiser for $1,000 to get that paperwork. I was going to get it one way or another. Wasn't nothing going to stop me from that. So we got it. We got it. And now we know why they didn't want us to have it. Now we know why. Because it's the proof of the pudding. See, as they always say, the proof's in the pudding, you know. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed your nightly pudding for this Monday evening. I hope everybody sees what we're dealing with in here and how it can go. So while they can't tell us no about the public records, they will sure sometimes put up a bit of a stink and do everything they can to discourage you. Hold true. And if you, here in the local area, if you have any problems whatsoever getting that kind of stuff, holler out to me. Let me know. irontonauditor@gmail.com. Give me a holler. I'll come and help you. We'll get it. I promise you. If they need a deposit, we'll find a way to get it done, but I promise you we'll get it done. That is a fact. And I'm here to tell you that, now I'm on it. Well, I've been on it for almost a year, but now you get to see a little bit of my auditing skills. Everybody says I'm not an auditor. Well, that's because they think that word means that you're, auditing a traffic stop and the cop's behavior on it. Well, yeah, I've done that. I just didn't bitch about it while I was doing it. But now you see that I'll dig even deeper. I'll go all the way. I'll get all the paperwork and I'll show you everything. It ain't just some shit I say on the sidewalk, because that ain't changing nothing. I'm telling you this not because it'll change anything, but because I'm hoping it'll change your hearts and minds out there and piss you off like it did me, so that we can stand together and put a stop to this shit. It needs to stop. Needs to absolutely stop. 100%. This big fucking club that they got in there, we need to bust that shit up and get rid of every single fucking member in it and put some real people in there to run this town. And I bet it'd be a town we could be proud of and be happy to live in again. That's my opinion. What do you think, Eugene? You've lived in there for a long time, ain't you? Good bit of your life.
Yes, sir.
Are you proud of your town? Or
no, I'm not. I'm embarrassed of my town.
Do you think that if we get rid of these assholes and put a little time and effort into it, it can be brought back, can it? The people are good, right?
I guarantee it. Love the people here, but fuck you, Sam Cramble. I hope you're listening. Fuck
right.
you.
It was good to see his ass go in a pair of torture cuffs, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was.
All righty, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here for the night. I don't want to keep you all night. I just wanted to get on here and show you a little bit of what we're dealing with. I'll have more videos to come on this channel. Like I said, we'll be reviewing some of my older stuff. We'll go over a few videos. I've got some other people that I'll bring in and give their opinion on a few things. We're going to have a little fun on this channel. And it's going to be completely different than the other one. We're not going to be out driving around through town. We're going to be talking about some of the things we've found during the year that that Eugene and I have been driving around this town. Because we see and know a lot. The problem comes when we try to prove it to you. So that's why you don't hear us say a whole lot about certain things, because we haven't had the proof. But, we're getting that. So as we get it, we'll bring it to you. And if I can, I'll bring it to you right here live. That's my plan. So I wish you all the best evening. APO, thank you for being here with me, man. As always, I appreciate you being that right arm of mine. You guys know that everywhere I go, he's usually right there with me. He's been right up in the shit knee deep with me. So I appreciate you for that, sir. Very, very much. Thank you for being here with me.
Anytime, brother.
And you guys out there in the chat, we love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the ride with us, guys. We love having you here, and if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have a show. Hell, it'd just be me and Eugene sitting around bitching. So I'm glad that you guys come in to listen to us bitch a little bit. So for the moment, guys, Ironton Auditor and APO out, and we'll catch you on the next run.